say it's going bad. I thought it was $15,000, but $15 a Chris Ren spooner. Hey, Joyce, hold on to that thing. It's like an investment, man. It's kind of like it's better than Bitcoin. All right. Let's get this guy rolling over here. I want to welcome you all. I'm so excited to be with you and to have you folks here with us. Let's get into our news update. Got a bunch of things to kind of share with you over here. Well, first of all, hallelujah, the outdoor mask mandate has been lifted. Outdoor mask mandates. So half of the states now been vaccinated, and so the governor has dropped the mask mandate for the outdoors. Health Department chair, the director of Health Department says, hey, when we are outdoors, we will not need to wear a mask. When we're indoors, we will still need to wear a mask. And, I don't want to get into the controversy on masking or not masking, but I did want to, there was an interesting quote that I wanted to share, which I think typifies a lot of the local sentiment about masking. So Lindsay Rabbe, who is a local resident who is eating at a restaurant in Waikiki, says, I've had a mask on for over a year now. I don't care. If I can keep a mask on, I keep myself and my family and my ohana safe. That's what I want to do. And I think that's just I picked that quote because I thought it was really a good quote that kind of really tells us a lot about the local culture as it goes to masking. And with that, we take our masking seriously. There was a confrontation in Lahaina, got physical. Yeah, there was apparently what happened was that there was a local resident, and he was inside a Panda Express in Lahaina, and a family of visitors come in, and probably a family of 4. 2 of the family members were not wearing masks. So the guy goes up there and says, hey, supposed to wear your mask. And I guess they kind of, push back on it, literally push back, and fists were flying and bloody noses were as a result. And, over wearing masks or not wearing masks internally. And there was a quote that I wanted to bring out because I think, again, I thought the quote really, really typifies not so much the masking issue, but the cultural issue in Hawaii. And this is really important. And so the guys, it was in the paper. The guy's name is Humberto Cardenas. He is the local resident. And he says, outsiders think they have all that privilege. They come to Hawaii expecting to get all that aloha, all that respect, but they come here without any aloha, any respect, and they get mad when they don't receive it, said Cardenas. And I think that is the whole thing right there. Local culture is really about respect. It's a beautiful thing. We respect each other in so many ways, and we express that respect in so many ways. And that was the issue that got Cardenas upset. The mask thing, yeah, but it was a lack of respect of local ways and local culture. And that's what 99% of, if you hear of any sort of altercations between local residents and visitors, that's the reason why. It's because the local residents, the islanders, are not seeing a respect on the part of visitors. So keep that in mind, because this whole channel, this whole ohana is about living in Hawaii, moving to Hawaii, and really it's all about understanding and respecting the culture. That's a real big deal. So I really wanted to point that out. All right. Kauai looks like they're on their way. They're at the highest possible tier 4, meaning that they have the highest tier, meaning they have the least amount of restrictions. In fact, it was there's no more tier 4. There's no more tier 4. So what did Kauai do? They added 2 more tiers. So there's a tier 5 and a tier 6. But they are saying that they're well on their way. And they say if the state hits a vaccination rate of 70%, they're going to get rid of the tier system altogether. So the end is near. And then finally, Hapuna Beach, no ka'oi. No ka'oi is a Hawaiian term for is best. Typically, you hear it say as Maui no ka'oi. That's a very well-known saying. Maui is best, but Hapuna Beach this time no ka'oi. Dr. Beach. Dr. Beach is this guy that his name is Stephen Leatherman, but he calls himself Dr. Beach. And every year he does a review of the best beaches in the U.S. This year he picked Hapuna Beach. And we've talked about Hapuna Beach many times on the show. And he says, the quote that I pulled, which was fun, was, the sand looks super white there because of the black lava beside it. I think the contrast makes you think, oh my gosh, I've never seen sand so white in my life. And as someone who's been to Hapuna Beach a bunch of times, I can attest and agree with Dr. Beach. All right, that's the quick update for now. I wanted to kind of go around and let's get some any news, non-real estate news updates, things you want to share that you heard, that you caught. Heidi, were you in Lahaina when that altercation was going on? What's going on in Maui?
I was not at the Panda Express at time, but I mean, that's not the only altercation that's taken place. I mean, I've heard of some other confrontations around Safeway, and it really is about respect. I mean, it's like going to someone's home and refusing to take off your shoes when you go inside. I mean, it's customary to take off your shoes when you go into somebody's home. So that's kind of how it's seen. Now, lifting the outdoor mask mandate, I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, but most people were not wearing masks outside anyway. It's important to wear a mask when you go inside or if you're around other people here on Maui still.
Yeah. Well said, Heidi. Dylan, give me some news on the Big Island that's worth sharing.
Well, the big news is that they've announced that the schools are gonna be back 100% next year. So, amazingly, most kids are pretty happy about that. I think kids, as much as they normally don't like school or act like they don't like school, give them a year of not going to school and not seeing their friends, and I think that fixes their mindset. So, yeah, it's a good positive development, I think, going forward.
Your wife is a school teacher, so she's obviously involved with that. How's your wife kind of feeling about that?
Well, she's actually not going back, but that's a different
different story.
But,
different story. All right.
But yeah, she's still. I mean, so it's good. Everybody's ready. I mean, the teachers are ready.
Awesome.
Everybody's ready. They got good protocols in place. I mean, there's lots of stuff that they've done to make it safe. And the kids have been back for a couple of months now. Either on a part-time basis or they started full-time a couple of weeks ago. So they've kind of test run it, and it seems like it's all working. And definitely, my younger son's having a good time being back in school full-time.
Excellent. Yeah, the social component, life studies will be made for years to come about what the multiple after effects of this shock has been. Scott, give me some news, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, a couple of things. I see the Honolulu mayor here is talking about trying to redo our tier system and kind of try to move us along, because we're probably one of the state in general is probably one of the highest percentage of vaccinations around. So they're trying to move all our tier system to what we can do, what restaurants, what businesses can do based more on vaccination rates, along with some of the COVID rates. So I have a feeling we're going to start opening up the restaurants more, which is good, because I just tried to set dinner reservations like 3 nights ago for tonight. And I was trying to do it online because that's mostly how you're having to do it. And I had to go through 25 different restaurants. They were all booked up until I finally just said, the hell with it. And I got on the phone, called, and was able to squeeze in somewhere tonight. But even the rental car situation is causing issues on the Uber Lyft side as well. I dropped my car off to get fixed the other day. I tried to get an Uber from Walmart down in Keamoku area back to Diamond Head, which should be normally $10, $12. Uber had it at $35 for the trip, and I couldn't even get anybody to respond. So the rental car effect is now bleeding into the Uber Lyft side over here. So not only from the restaurant reservation standpoint, they're all booked, but now we're even having issues on transportation, modes of transportation going around here. It's nuts.
That's going to be an interesting one. I don't know about you, Scott, but you're closer to Waikiki than I am. But even where I'm further out, I'm noticing a lot more mopeds. I'm seeing everyone's kind of, there's always a shift now, right? So I can't rent a car, I'm going to rent a moped. And I'm also seeing those little 3-wheeled buggy looking goofy things running around as well. So I guess people are kind of trying to get transportation any way that they can get it, which is really fun. Hey, we got we got a bunch of comments I want to kind of follow up on, because I love it when you all are interacting with us. Actually, what I was going to say, Scott, was when one of my long-term plans is to, because you couldn't get the reservations at the restaurant. So one of my long-term plans is, I'm thinking, maybe I'll create a YouTube channel called Cooking from Costco, which is like all about, going to Costco, picking up food, and then coming home and making dinner just from Costco food. Maybe I might do that. We'll see.